You asked, we listened, and now it is back.
KITV4 is telling the stories of your communities in our ever-popular segment, Where You Live. And today we're heading out toward the end of the road. You'll find a handful of unique towns along Oahu's leeward coast, but a very special one caught the eye of KITV4's Brenton Awa. Here's Waianae. It's Where You Live.
Hidden away from the busy city, hailed as the birthplace of Oahu, is Waianae.
Aloha ia Waianae, he malui ka ulumiu.
Many describe it in many different ways, through oli or chant, mo'olelo or myth, mele like this. But to understand Waianae today, you must first know its past. This is a place once defined by the balance between its people and the land. These terraces represent only a glimpse into the amount of kalo that once spread throughout this valley, and that the sea, Pokai Bay, provided the rest, a truly self-sustaining ahupua'a.
What they did was to apply that thinking of how to make this environment take care of us, how do we take care of that environment. And so that is how I think the culture evolved.
But all of that changed when the land was stripped of its life-giving source. The sugar plantations arrived. Water was diverted from these fields to feed development. The balance was disrupted. Waianae was reshaped. In many ways remains so to this day.
There was a vacuum and a void. It's like when you no longer have the will to survive. And then it's replaced, then you end up with alcoholism, you end up with domestic violence and abuse. The whole story repeats itself.
Most everybody in our community depend on EBT, food stamps.
Which leads to the Waianae we often hear about, challenged by drugs, crime, and poverty.
You see a lot of homeless people. Well, that's a sign that the community understands the disconnection people have with their families.
But behind these images lies a movement, one that's gaining momentum with the younger generation. For them, it seems to come so naturally.
It's in our blood, it's in our history, it's in everything behind me, in front of me, above and below me. I am this Aina.
Hawaiians are storytellers. They're also cultivators. Ma'o Farm's doing more than just growing food here. It's weeding out barriers and cultivating future leaders, putting responsibility back in their hands. Just look around. Entire farms run by interns. In exchange for their year-round hard work, the program pays for these students to go to college, a benefit that can be life-changing.
If it wasn't for Ma'o, I wouldn't be having my AA degree, my liberals, and I wouldn't be working on my bachelor's.
Getting to Ma'o means graduating first, a trend that Waianae High School's Sea Rider Productions is starting to master.
There's a place in the country.
80 to 90% of the program's graduates go to college, well above the school's average, and it all goes back to storytelling.
Ma Coco, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Watch me.
This tale took top honors in a national film competition, and this is just one part of the Sea Riders program.
We're always experimenting with different types of mangoes.
Journalism's another, where these kids focus on gathering stories from their community.
There's a lot of stories in Waianae, I think. A lot of stories on this island that we'd be happy to tell.
Waianae, I feel the ocean breeze calling. Waianae.
Which brings us back to where we started, deep in Waianae Valley at Ka'ala Farm. Remember, these lo'i sit where the water was once removed. With a lot of perseverance, some has been recovered. The goal now is getting people back on the land to farm food and support families in the process.
All you need is one good person who cares about that child, So that's important. So we're just trying to change that paradigm.
There's still work to be done in restoring the balance, but the signs are there. It's tipping back in the right direction, resting in the hands of its people, restoring the land, and resounding in the stories yet to be told.
In Waianae,
Brenton Awa, KITV4 News.
What a refreshing look at a beautiful place. Love that story. According to the U.S. Census, 60% of Waianae's population is Native Hawaiian. That's the second highest concentration of Hawaiians in any Oahu community. Nanakuli is the first. In fact, the top 5 communities are all along the Waianae coast.
And if this story left you wanting just a little bit more, be sure to tune into our morning show tomorrow. A little bit more on Waianae.